Hello Yele Nation, it's your girl Yele. So I just wanted to up on here real quick to introduce myself to my new subscribers. My name is Yele of Yelestitches. I'm a female fashion designer and I come on YouTube to teach tutorials on how to make simple accessories, patterns for dresses, for pants. If you haven't seen all my videos, you should go check it out. Anyway, so today is an example of the simple things that I teach, that I put together to make something complex. Today we are going to learn how to make an entire wedding dress. Like, it's not like we're going to learn in details, but I'm going to just show clips of this thing that I taught in 1 week, and this thing that I taught in another week, and this thing I taught in another week, that you can put together to make something as complex as a wedding dress. And it shows that something complex comes from something simple. So if you know how to make the simple things, you can combine them to make the complex thing. So hang on and stick with me and let us do this together. Okay. See you on the other side. Bye.
First thing you need to know is that I finished this entire wedding dress in just 4 days. And I'm going to give you the breakdown of what happened in day 1, day 2, day 3, and day 4. This is day 1 and I'm creating my patterns. I created my patterns. Now these patterns are the same and are similar to the ones that I created on my how to create a corset top pattern. So I'm going to link that video on the screen. I'm going to put it as a card here, and I'm also going to put it in the description box for you to know that it is the same pattern that I used for my corset top that I'm also using as the build up for my corset wedding dress. All right, so I created all the patterns based on that same formula, and I'm adding my seam allowance to my pattern pieces, and then I'm cutting it out first of all on the Adire fabric, because the wedding gown has the Adire part underneath it and then has the lace part on top of it. So I took all my pattern pieces and I'm cutting it out on the Adire print. After cutting it out on the Adire print, I took the lace fabric as well, and I'm cutting these same patterns on the lace fabric. So if you want to make something like this also, go and watch my how to create a corset pattern and join the winning team. So, and on that video as well, I also showed how to sew the pieces together. I did a step-by-step on how to create a corset top, how to create the lining and everything, and even had zipper. So that is the same. That's the first video that you need in order to create this corset dress, or to create something similar to it. So you see that it is simple things and small things that come together to make the big things. So I'm also at this point sewing together the Adire cups. I ironed it on my iron ball. I created this ball myself as well because I don't want to buy that ball thing that they used to buy for cups. I was like, I can make my own by myself, and I made my own by myself. If you want me to teach you how to make your own as well, just let me know in the comment section. I always got you people. All right, so I put the cups and I'm trying to see if the cups fit very well on my mannequin, because I'm using my mannequin as my model. The mannequin and myself, we are using similar measurements, not the same thing, just similar. So the mannequin is slimmer than I am, but at least it works sort of somehow. So after doing that, I joined all my pieces together. I put the lace and the Adire pattern. I put the lace on top of the Adire pattern and I sewed all the pattern pieces together. But the lace had a lot of stones, so removing those stones was like half of the day's job. It was so difficult. You see me removing the stone and concentrating to remove all those stones. I lost like 3 needles. I lost 3 needles, 3 sewing machine needles just to those stones. So I had to take my time to make sure I remove the stones so that affliction will not arise a second time. And the same thing that happened to my first 3 needles doesn't happen to my 4th needle. So okay, after sewing that part together, I put it on my mannequin again to make sure that everything is looking fitted and beautiful and is looking the way I want it. Like, I had the idea in my head and I wanted to see if the actualization of the idea, if what I was making was actually the actualization of my idea. So I'm pinning everything together. In the beginning, I wanted the Adire print to not have lace, but I changed my mind and I put lace on top of the cups as well. As you can see, I'm wearing a different dress, so this is definitely day 2. Now I'm creating the main mermaid part. I'm creating it on my white satin fabric. The satin fabric has a little bit of stretch, so it's the dress ended up sizing between a size 4 and a size 8 sort of. So anyway, after cutting the main part on my satin fabric, the next thing is then to cut out the tail. Now I cut out the tail from my pattern. If you have not seen the video for how to draft a mermaid skirt, you should go and watch that video. I'm going to link it in the card, and I'm also going to link it in the description box. The only difference between this pattern and the one that I did before was that the tail is another fabric entirely. So I cut out the tail of my pattern out, then I elongated it a little bit, and also I'm going to slash and spread it on my Adire paint fabric. I'm doing all this because this is a wedding dress, and you want that train to be vavavoom. You don't want the train to be anyhow. You want the train to like, hey, that when people see it, like, it will catch their breath will catch away. You understand what I'm saying? I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. So after creating the train, I joined all the parts together, and this is day 3. So day 3 was when I like rushed and did everything together at the same time, like, because I had a photo shoot the very next day, and I had to make sure that I finished this wedding dress before the photo shoot. Now this part, removing the appliques from the lace, this is like one of the craziest jobs. I don't like this job in any way. It was very stressful to do. It looked easy, but it wasn't easy. Anyhow, I sewed my pieces together. I left the applique. I was like, we'll get to it later. But right now, let me just create the sleeves, and then let me just, sew all my pieces that I cut out. Let me sew everything together. So this is me sewing the lace and put elastic in the lace also. Like the way I made the sleeves of this wedding dress is a special way, and I feel like it's an entire tutorial on how to create that, because I don't have that in my list of videos right now. So is it like a special tutorial? So if you want me to teach you how to create the sleeves specially, just let me know. The sleeves are one of a kind. I have not seen them anywhere before. It's a creative property of Yelestitches. Look at those sleeves. No, tell me if you have seen this kind of what's the word? It is like a detachable sleeve. Tell me if you have seen this kind of detachable sleeve before. Anyways, I've sewn all the pieces together. You can see the cup and the skirt part, and I've put the tail also, and then this tail can be worn in 2 different ways, the way I did it right now, and then I can remove that pin, and the tail just goes all the way to the back to create like the regular tail. At this point, I have never added lining. This is just the framework of what the wedding dress looks like. You see that tail? Now I told you that's vavavoom. Hell, now there's now another tail that I have to create again. You see all these things that I'm doing on one day. This is still day 3, and I have to finish everything. Before day 4. So this is me creating my my external train, the train that I'm still going to add again at the back. So I draped everything on my mannequin, as you're seeing me do. Like, I created like a flare at the back of my mannequin. I just used the fabric to create a simple flare. Like, it looks difficult at the end of the day, but it was very simple to achieve. So after that, I just cut it out so that everything rhymes together, and it looks good as a nice tail for the dress. And then I'm going to take my tool and see how I'm going to arrange that tool on the train. It was not easy. I kept pinning and unpinning. I really didn't even know the style that I wanted to do. I just know that Holy Spirit activate. Holy Spirit activate. Like, Holy Spirit don't help me, babe. Don't worry, girl, I got you. I'm gonna show what you're gonna do, and it's gonna look so beautiful at the end of the day. It's even gonna be finer than you expected. Anyways, that's exactly what happened. At this junction, at this point in time, I still did not know what I was going to do with the tool on the print, but I guess it came out well at the end of the day. Now the next stage, whew, Lord, this was me sewing the tool on the tail. The tail that I just brought out now. the tail I was just talking about now. I mean, this is me sewing the tulle on the tail, and as you can see, it was a lot of work. It looks like it's simple, it looks like it's straightforward, but on more that day I was sweating and sewing. In fact, some point I stood up and I was sewing while standing. You see me putting the tulle around my neck again. I turned it to scarf. I was sewing and sewing and sewing. If only I was this fast in real life. The way this video, it is like it's doing a film trick. It's like it's all film tricky. But anyways, it was quite a great project. It was quite an ordeal to put the tulle on the dress. So I did this for a while. And by the time I was through, I needed to drink water. Like, I needed to drink correct chilled water at the end of it. Then I went back to my wedding dress. At this point, I had added lining to it. So I was just going to sew the cups of the main dress to the cups of the lining, so that the lining will not be picking up at the top. So at this point of my wedding gown story, I'm about to put everything together, the last final stitch. As I do this now, there is no time for mistake anymore. There is no time for me to see any mistake anymore. If I see anything that might be wrong with this dress, well, it is fashion. Like, if there's anything that is color piece on way, it is fashion. That's just it. So we're about to hit the nail on the coffin with this final step I'm about to take. So I just wanted to document it, to say, guys, wish me luck. I wish myself luck. But if anything, nothing will go wrong. In Jesus' mighty name, nothing will go wrong. So let me see if anything goes wrong. So, success to me. See you on the other side. Now, this is the final stage I was crying about. So I am just sewing everything with my serger, sewing the bottom part with my serger, sewing the inside with my serger, putting both the lining and the main fabric together in a like full stop kind of way. So now let's see what it looks like on the mannequin. So after doing that, I carried my mannequin and I wore the dress on the mannequin, and then I zipped it up like you see me do, and it looks so beautiful. And then I attached the sleeves and everything is looking beautiful. Now let's go back to our appliques. I told you that this applique, I was already tired of it, so I recruited my darling husband. If you see him anywhere, say a prayer for him. God bless this man for me. He helps me to put my applique, to cut out my applique, and then I was putting it on the dress. As you can see it, I'm putting it on the white part of the dress, as you are seeing me do. And let's see the dress in full. So you can see I added applique all over the bottom part of the dress, and I also added it in the front like that. And then I wore it both ways, with the tail up and the tail down. And you see the sleeves, you see everything. It was so beautiful. I'm so happy with the way it came out. Thank you so much for staying with me and watching all this. Till next time, my Yele Nation. Bye.